One of the most effective strategies to ensure robust security is through vulnerability management. Have you heard your IT provider talking about vulnerabilities before? Maybe in your network or your firewalls. Vulnerability management is a proactive approach that involves identifying, assessing, and mitigating security weaknesses in systems, applications, and networks. By managing vulnerabilities effectively, organizations can significantly reduce the risk of data breaches, system failures, and financial losses. To appreciate the importance of vulnerability management, it's essential to first understand a few core concepts. A vulnerability is essentially a weakness in a system, application, or network that could be exploited by an attacker. The risk associated with a vulnerability is determined by the likelihood and potential impact of it being exploited. Vulnerability management is the comprehensive process of identifying, assessing, prioritizing, and mitigating these vulnerabilities. 5 key steps in vulnerability management. Discovery: identifying vulnerabilities through various methods, including vulnerability scanning, penetration testing, and manual audits. Assessment: evaluating the severity and potential impact of each vulnerability. Prioritization: ranking vulnerabilities based on their risk level to determine which ones to address first. Mitigation: implementing measures to address vulnerabilities such as patching, configuration changes, or compensating controls. Monitoring: continuously monitoring for new vulnerabilities and reassessing risks. To ensure an effective vulnerability management program, organizations might conduct regular vulnerability scans to identify new vulnerabilities and apply security patches promptly to address known issues. Secure configuration management is also vital to minimize risks, along with regular penetration testing to simulate real-world attacks. Assess the security practices of third-party vendors to ensure they meet your security standards before you sign on with them. This doesn't just apply to company higher-ups who make important technology decisions, it's also good advice for managing your Wi-Fi connected devices back home. Finally, it's important for you as an employee to take your security awareness training seriously. These yearly trainings and regular refresher courses will educate you about evolving threat tactics, perpetuated by cybercriminals who are constantly evolving their manipulative tactics to exploit our data. By addressing vulnerabilities, you can protect sensitive data from unauthorized access and greatly reduce the number of cyber attacks against your network. Effective vulnerability management can also help organizations comply with industry regulations, ensuring that you are compliant with all of the latest laws surrounding your industry and your private data. This is also important to you as a consumer in society because you want to know what protections are in place to safeguard your personal information. When you buy from a new company, you want to ensure they have a strong enough security posture to deserve their reputation and your trust. Vulnerability management isn't just for big organizations. It has significant relevance for regular consumers like you. Here are a few ways it impacts your daily life. Your personal data, such as banking information, social media accounts, and email, is valuable to cybercriminals. Services with effective vulnerability management protect this data from theft or misuse. Regularly update and patch your smartphones, computers, and other connected devices to protect them from vulnerabilities that were only recently discovered by the manufacturer. When you don't update your systems as soon as possible, hackers can use that known vulnerability to exploit older versions of the software. When you shop or bank online, you trust that the websites and apps you use have robust security measures in place. Vulnerability management helps these platforms identify and fix security weaknesses, so your online transactions are much safer. By securing your personal information and the platforms you use, you reduce the risk of someone using your information for fraudulent activities like identity theft. Knowing that the companies and services you rely on are actively managing vulnerabilities should give you peace of mind. It means they're taking steps to protect your data and ensure a secure user experience. In short, proactive vulnerability management helps prevent and reduce costly data breaches and system failures. When you trust your data to a system with secure vulnerability management procedures in place, you know it's going to be as safe as possible from hackers. By implementing a robust vulnerability management program, organizations can significantly reduce their exposure to security risks and protect their most valuable assets.